Hello, Khalifa and Vitalii. How are you doing today and where are you dialing from in the world, Khalifa?
I'm doing really good. I'm dialing in from sunny Dubai. Yeah, pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And Vitalii?
Yeah, it's a beautiful morning here in Vancouver, in Canada. So yeah, I'm down from Canada.
I know it's pretty early for you, but thank you so much for dialing in today to talk about AI adoption. It's a pretty popular topic right now, and I feel really excited to talk more about it. My sessions are called the hot seat session because the purpose of this session is to help companies and entrepreneurs all over the globe to address their blind spots right now with ready to use tips from our lovely mentors. And the topic today is to help with AI adoption and customer experience and market enhancement. But before we go deeper into the topic, I'd like to know a little bit about you and your expertise. Khalifa, you can go first.
Awesome. So, like I said, nice to be here together with you, Kate and Vitali. So, firstly, I'm originally from Finland. I relocated to Dubai around 5 years ago. My background is really in digital products, so designing and developing digital products, mobile apps, website systems like this. And I've worked a lot with venture-backed startups. I've worked, I think, over 300 early stage startups, helping them kind of find their way towards product market fit. And as I was doing that, in most cases, in the last 3 years or so, it ended up being machine learning, data science, and AI that actually helped them make their products better and find product market fit. So that led me to establish Shapr. Shapr is basically a Dubai-based AI company where we help well-funded startups and enterprises leverage this crazy new power of AI. So yeah, that's me. Super excited about anything related to AI. This field, it moves so fast. I've been in technology for around 15 years. I've never seen anything that moves this fast, not even close. So it feels like every month we get to learn and try something new. So it's very exciting stuff.
Absolutely agree. Thank you. And Vitalii, what about you?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure to kind of have this conversation about all things AI. So my background in enterprise software development in various roles, mainly in product management, engineering, marketing. So I was building big products for various world-famous brands. But around 2 years ago, we started Eli. Eli is the deep tech company that focused on the video generation from text. So we help companies create educational video materials with humans, digital avatars from just text. So this is our core expertise. And these 2 years was really a journey for us. We grew from 0 to 1,000 plus active paid customers, big companies, and we're really enjoying, the way where the video generation is going, because still right now you see some of the limitations of the technology, and sometimes the video is not that realistic, or you still have some issues. But in 2 years, you won't see any difference. So I'm quite excited about where it's going.
I agree, especially what we've seen lately with what AI was doing. I'm not sure what was the name of the program, but the videos
Sora.
now, it's so real. Nobody expected that just 2 years ago. So I agree with Vitalii. Just in 2 years, we won't recognize what we're saying. Absolutely. So I want to make this session a little bit more interactive than what I, used to host before. And it's going to be some kind of a case study where we will dive, into the problems of a certain company that wants to adopt AI but doesn't really know where to start. And you as experts will, help with some tips and strategies to help address this problem. So we're going to imagine a mid-sized retail company that is called TechMart, and they are selling electronic gadgets, home appliances. They are heavily present online, but they still cannot compete with, e-commerce giants. And they want to focus, on doing better when it comes to their customer experience and marketing, but they don't really know where to start. So I want you to help them a little bit. And my first question is, so of course, the best way to enhance your customer experience and marketing is with the help of AI. But what are some common challenges that this company or companies like TechMart can face when they try to adopt AI, from ground zero? They've never done that before and they don't know where to start. Who'd like to start?
I can start by saying that in
Yeah.
most cases like this, the challenge would be related to data initially. We see this a lot with especially small and medium-sized companies where they want to do something really cool with data science, machine learning, and AI, but they simply haven't collected the right type of data. And it is often kind of the scenario when we get in touch with, we start talking with a company, they tell us that they have tons of data. And then when we look at it, yes, they have a lot of rows, but it's not very useful. So that might be because some of the kind of the low-hanging fruits from them would be personalization and stuff like this. But and often it can be just that they don't know enough of their clients to do this. Other challenges that often I would see is kind of just where to start, and especially with applied AI, they don't have the talent, they don't have the expertise, and often, especially on e-commerce, I see that they're fairly small tech teams. So then it's kind of difficult. How do we get started with this when we don't really even understand how it all works?
Got it. And Vitalii, what do you have to add to some common challenges that they might face?
Yeah, so basically, I think all of the experts in growth marketing agrees that in 2024 you can rely on single source of traffic, or a single source to bring your customers to your platform. And it's right now it needs to be multi-channel, and you need to engage with audience with different channels. And there are a bunch of AI tools that allows you to do that, whether this is a video channel or whether this is search engine optimization or even outbound marketing. You have tools to help you with that. But we need to be flexible, and the companies need to be flexible and start to adopting these tools. Like we're big on video, that's why I can talk a lot about the video. But like in 2022, 65% of traffic came from the video to your website, pretty much. So there is a big shift from just reading content into the video content. So now if you want to kind of be in the leading position on the market, you need to adopt videos, and to create videos is complicated. So now you need to look at something like what can generate the videos in minutes with the cost in kind of zeros, right? So you need to be flexible and understand how people interact with content now. And if you understand, then you will build the tools and use the tools that allows you to create the great content.
Perfect. That sounds really good. But I'd now like to get a little more deeper into each of the problems, customer experience and marketing. And Khalifa, my first question goes to you. Let's imagine that, TechMart wants to leverage their customer experience, especially maybe, on the website, on their mobile app. And how can they properly leverage AI to help them enhance it?
Okay, so company like TechMart, which it was an electronic gadget and home appliances e-commerce player. Yeah. So if we assume that they start from ground zero, the low-hanging fruit would be to create some kind of a recommendation system into the site. This has two huge benefits. One, of course, is that it tends to increase revenue a lot, upselling and cross-selling. Just to give you a reference point, around 30% of the revenue that Amazon gets from Amazon.com comes from these AI-based recommendations. So it is, you go to buy shoes and then you see, a shirt that it's like made for you, and then you end up buying it. So that's definitely a low-hanging fruit. And it tends to increase the customer experience as well, because instead of seeing, I'm assuming TechMart has thousands of different gadgets on their website. If the homepage is just littered with stuff that you don't care about, you have to go through a lot of effort to find what you want. But if you land on the site and you instantly see something that is kind of cool for you, it's a nice experience. And overall personalization. So whatever we can learn from the customer and kind of understand what they might want and offer that to them beforehand. Another that I see that could be very useful for customer experience is if indeed the site is something that has like thousands of different gadgets, sometimes finding what you're looking for can be difficult. So a chat-based interface where you can just say that, listen, I just want a new TV. I don't really care about anything. Just make sure it's less than $500 and as big TV as possible with $500. So without me going through and scrolling, an AI could just, okay, here you go. You want to check out? Yes. Boom, and done. So in situations where you kind of, how I see it, there's two situations where you go to a store. You know exactly what you want, and then you want that quickly. You don't want to browse anything. Or you go and you're not sure what you want, and then you would want the site to recommend you something that you might enjoy. So implementing both in something like TechMart, I think would be a really good starting point.
I actually absolutely love this point just because just yesterday I was choosing flowers, to get a home delivery to my mom for Wednesday, and I don't really know what I wanted. I know that I want flowers, but not exactly, what flowers I want. And because of these, recommendations, it was so much easier to get started and to make the perfect choice. So I think, it's like number one point that, for me, like an average customer, that needs to be addressed. So absolutely love it.
Exactly, and the patience that people have these days is like tiny. So if they don't find what they're looking for, like
if I
in
don't
the
see it
first 20,
within
30 seconds,
1 minute or less,
yeah,
I'm jumping to another website. I do not have
exactly.
time to just scroll for back and forth. Absolutely. And Vitali, I'd like you to focus a little bit on marketing, as I know, it's one of the main thing that you're focusing on with your company. And let's imagine that, we want to recommend TechMart some AI-driven strategies, marketing strategies that, can help TechMart, attract and retain their current customers. What can they do?
Yeah, great question. So big thing from the marketing perspective is the content. So like if we're talking about even this e-commerce website, right? So from AI perspective, you already can generate the content. It could be a written content for product listings. This is the first thing. The second thing, you can generate narrated videos about the products with AI. So now every product has now video here. Also, it can be multilingual, which is quite good from SEO perspective. So now you can pretty much have the content in various languages, and you can have better position in various regions. So once you have the generated content, real high quality generated content, then you can attract inbound traffic. And let's think about the video content, for example. So if you had one video on your website, then it doesn't mean that you won't have this traffic, organic traffic from video, but it's quite limited, right? But let's think about if you have thousands of products, and now you have thousands of videos for each product, and it's SEO optimized. So now you can attract much more traffic. And then think about with AI, you can transform this video in Spanish, English, and 75 languages. Now you have tens of thousands of videos in multiple languages, and now you can bring traffic from just a single video inbound funnel. Second thing, the same thing you can do with generating the scripts or text for your website. You need to do it really smart, so you don't need to generate everything from the content point of view, because you might get in trouble from Google perspective, and you might get banned. But you already can do stuff with the product descriptions. Again, you can do localized content, and now you can bring a lot more traffic from written content. This is the first thing. And also there would be an outbound channel, right? So if you're building outbound marketing channel, there are tools that allows you to write emails, like the AI sales representatives. It allows you to write the emails, contact the prospects, find you the prospects, and build like the proper outbound marketing funnel. So there are tools already there, and if you're in 2024, you need to definitely use them.
Definitely. And one of my, most favorite features lately is that, when we try to create videos and it involves, interacting with our mentors like you, it's really convenient to use, one of these kind of Hey Gen softwares that helps you, not go and ask this mentor to go and create something because, they also barely have time for this. But we create videos for them and they just approve in a second and we post it. And our content, just as you said, Vitalii, is so much more engaging and interactive that it really helps, attract a better and more curious audience. I absolutely agree with this. But now that we've covered all of these tips, I feel like, when it comes to our business side, you cannot just, go and try to utilize these, various softwares. There needs to be some kind of system to track that your, whatever you're implementing is actually, given fruits. So what are some, major KPIs? So what are some strategies, that can help you measure long term that, the AI adoption for your customer experience and marketing is actually working? What should they focus on, companies like Techmart?
Well, I tend to, something we do at Shapr on every project we work on is we kind of, before we do anything else, we figure out what's the business goal we're trying to achieve here. And that then in a way dictates what the KPI should be. So I mentioned earlier that they might want to do recommendation engines that increases conversion. So when a customer lands to the client, Vitalii, based on Vitalii tricks, you get a lot of traffic to the site. Now we want to get them to buy. So then I would measure that conversion because that then leads to revenue. It could be something like how long till a client comes to the site, how long do they have to stay there until they check out. But it really depends on what's the business goal. What are we trying to do? Most likely it is something like we're trying to increase revenue or we're trying to increase customer experience. And then I would look at what are the telltale signs, the metrics that this is going well. At the end of the day, when you zoom out and if you take kind of both what I'm talking about and what Vitalii is talking about, it's customer acquisition cost that you're then comparing to customer lifetime value. And when you're doing the marketing bit that Vitalii was talking about, for sure you're looking at your customer acquisition cost. And then when you get them to the site, what's the lifetime value? Can you make them recurring customers that they come back? And how much is the average basket size? But yeah, I would always kind of start with the money and what are the metrics that tell us that that's going the right way. And then of course there are indicators for the customer experience, like how quickly do they reach the desired outcome and so on.
Yes, that's the basics. But whenever I get feedback on my sessions and what we discuss, some people are actually blown away because they don't even know the basics of where to start. So thank you, I really appreciate it. And Vitalii, what do you have to say about some KPIs or some ways to measure the progress of your AI adoption?
Yeah, I would agree with Khalifa. You definitely go with the ROI and you go definitely with the customer acquisition cost. In 2024, you definitely need to track your customer acquisition cost because you have a lot of experiments, you have a lot of new strategies, people talking about different things, and if you start to adopting them, you definitely need to check how they perform. So overall, on the company level, you need to invest in data and how you work with the data and data analysis. It's not about just one metric, you need to track engagement, you need to track LTV, you need to track the CAC, you need to track all of the parts of the funnel to understand, okay, how my users are converting. Are they using the service? Because right now, the users are very picky. So there's so many options out there, and you need to have like the solid all-in-one kind of solutions that allows you to kind of build great product or service for your customers. So it's you need to validate each step of the funnel from first interaction to retention and understand how your users perform and what they're doing. So on each stage, you can implement AI tools, and you have specific sets of metrics, and you need to do that.
Yes. And I actually agree with that, especially the part where you mentioned that, on every stage you're able to integrate AI because whenever I talk to people, we just only think that AI can only be used, to generate some text. It can only be used to generate videos, but actually it's so much more. And I'm really glad that you mentioned that. And I am now seeing the question from the audience. And it's something that we haven't really discussed, but I would really like to be addressed. John V is asking, how can data analysis collaborate with other departments such as marketing and IT to ensure successful AI adoption and integration? Who can answer?
I think I can. So basically, I think you need to, as a company leader or one of the C levels, you need to ensure this connection with marketing department and the data analytics department, and you need to, at the marketing department, you need to give a certain metrics that you want to track, right? To measure your marketing campaign success, and then that analytics department should give you data on a daily or weekly basis, so you can have the data-driven decisions. So right now you can't go without data-driven decisions. You can't just buy paid ads and build on that. So you need to validate each step, because it's getting more market getting more saturated in each area, and the cost of campaigns are getting higher. So you need to make really smart decisions. So first, start to hiring marketing people who know how to, how to calculate the data from marketing point of view, and then ask the data analytics department to give you the data.
Exactly. Before, I used to think actually, to stand out in marketing, you just have to go out there and create something unique. But now I just think, it all comes down to data. As they say, data is king, and you really have to be just smart about your marketing. That is true. Khalifa, do you have anything to add?
No, not really. Data has answers if you know the right questions. So that's why you kind of need the marketing team to ask the right questions, and then your data team to give the answers.
Perfect. Thank you. And I think that's it for now. And I'd like to wrap up our session. But before wrapping up, I'd like to mention that if our audience enjoyed this conversation, we encourage you to connect with our speakers and see how they can help you, to adopt AI successfully in your company or within your departments, because they're looking forward to collaborating with you as well. Thank you so much, Khalifa and Vitalii, for dialing in today. I really enjoyed this case study conversation because we were able to provide a lot of ready-to-use tips, and I hope you enjoyed it as well.
Awesome. Yeah, it was a pleasure meeting you guys.
It was fun. Thanks so much. All the best.
Goodbye.